Youth Ministry Nation, it's AC. Kurt, let's talk about youth ministry.
Dude,
Yo.
what's going on? Looking good?
I'm looking good, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's not APU.
Gotcha. Hey, it's okay. There's other Christian colleges out there other than APU.
Right.
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. What's going on
What's
here?
What's wrong? Wow, that feels good.
It's looking good. Are you new look? Or?
What are you talking about?
You're growing it out.
I'm not growing it out. Well, I mean, I haven't cut it in a couple weeks, but now it is longer than normal.
Yeah.
But I don't think...
It's great contrast, though.
I'm not in jeopardy of it getting shaggy anytime
That's
soon.
true.
But see, normally I have almost no hair here and more beard, and this week, for some reason, it's the opposite. I shaved my face but didn't shave my head instead of the other way around.
Yeah. No, I shaved my face and my head.
Looking good, smooth. All right, what are we talking about today? Talking about youth ministry every now and then on the morethandodgeball.com blog. We throw a little vlog. We like to call it vlog. We like to call that's old school.
Yes.
That's old school. But just a 10-minute topic. Me and you, instead of writing on the blog, we talk on the blog.
Just discuss some topics.
And AC always thinks up the topics and tells them to me about 30 seconds before.
Gotta keep you on your toes.
And okay. Yeah. So what's the topic?
This week we're just going to talk about SYMC.
Ooh.
Simply Youth Ministry Conference is coming up. We have a month. It's like
what is it?
2 months out.
March what?
I didn't get the dates, but it's like
we did get the dates.
But
there's a link.
There's a link.
It's in March. It's early March. It's always early March.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
It always comes around. My wife's birthday is like March 5th.
Yeah.
So I'm always like here for a second.
Yes.
I love you, honey. Happy birthday. And then I'm off.
Here's the deal. If you have not gone to Simply Youth Ministry Conference, you need to go. 3,000 youth workers.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Training, music, general sessions, workshops, breakouts.
Everything.
In Columbus, Ohio this year.
Yeah.
Great place. Home of the NHL team of?
Browns. Right?
NHL.
NHL.
The Browns play in Cleveland, which is not Columbus. NHL. NHL. Columbus Blue Jackets. Columbus Blue Jackets, I think, is the name of the team. I don't know. I think it's the Blue Jackets.
Were you saying hockey?
Yeah, hockey. NHL. National Hockey League. NHL.
I figure you were saying hockey league, and I'm like, why is he asking me a question about hockey? I know nothing about hockey.
I don't either. I just know the Blue Jackets weather.
Go Red
Wings. That's Detroit. Okay,
yeah.
so
this week we're just going to kind of give just two things that we love about the conference that's going to take place in Columbus, Ohio.
Who's first? I don't have to think about those.
Dude, well, you can start us off, but I want to just preference, this is something that goes on every single year. It's geared towards youth workers, and I think there's a committee of youth workers that help plan this.
There's a group of like 50 youth workers that work with Group and Simply Youth Ministry to plan the entire the entire event.
So it's literally youth workers planning a youth workers convention for youth workers.
Yes.
I used it.
Yes, it is.
I tried to use it as many times as I could.
Two things.
Yes.
Two things. One. Now, you could say this is true about just about any gathering like this, but it's what I like most about Simply Youth Ministry Conference. One is the Simply Youth Ministry Conference. It feels like, to me, camp for youth workers.
Yeah.
So think about all the awesome things that our students get out of summer camp or winter camp, and that's what youth workers get out of the Simply Youth Ministry Conference.
Yeah.
You get time away, you get to break your normal routine. Everything that you use to sell your students on why they should sign up for summer camp is exactly what I would sell you on as to why you should sign up for the Simply Youth Ministry Conference. You get away from home, you get time with God, you get some isolated time for God to work on your life.
Yeah.
You have fun. So it's just fantastic. To me, it is like a camp event designed specifically for youth workers. Yeah. That's one. And then the other is, and this kind of goes right along with it, but for me, it's like this once a year, for lack of a better phrase, collection of the brotherhood, right? I mean, we are a brotherhood and sisterhood of uniquely called men and women. Yeah. And once a year, a whole bunch of us, 3,000 of us, get together And it's just a great reminder while we're at camp, doing all our camp stuff. It's a great reminder that I'm part of something special. I'm not alone.
Yeah.
There's other men and women who get me, who like this thing called youth ministry, even though so many other people don't understand it. So for me, the 1-2 punch of it is camp for you.
Yeah.
And it's your once a year time to get around with 3,000 other people from the youth ministry nation, part of this brother and sisterhood. It's just it's an awesome. It's like putting wind in my sails for the next year. You know,
totally.
it's a shot of adrenaline. It's a shot of just energy. It gets me through because youth ministry is kind of draining, and I feel like I'm alone. So even on a team like ours, where we don't have to do ministry alone, I still feel alone sometimes.
No, totally,
right?
Totally.
And it's just good to be a part of. So those are my 2 things.
Those I would echo those all the way. Mine are a little bit more personal.
Okay.
I love the camp feel. I love watching the kids at our ministry, how they love camp, and so I love that about our camp. But some more personal things. I love the time that I get to spend with God.
Yeah.
I just love the time that, I have a family, I have kids, and normally I wouldn't just say, hey, I'm going to go away for a few days by myself, and I'm going to isolate myself.
You want to.
Yeah,
you want to.
Oh, you need it.
You go in your little AC corner of the house in your little fetal position. I need alone time.
But then all you hear is, Daddy. So you just don't get it. So this is a great time. This is like the time that I take, that I get to sit and say, hey, if I'm going to go by myself somewhere, or really just drink in everything that's happening, all the word, the word that's coming from the general sessions. Yeah. I just want to just kind of like inundate myself with that and just spend time with God, and even go over personal goals, and just kind of like re-amp myself up for for the year. And it's just a great time to do that. It's a great excuse to do that, to come here. Right. Next thing is just learning something new. I'm a learner, so I want to learn. I want to grow. I never want to stop doing that. So, and I don't necessarily expect every workshop to be like, oh, my mind is blown. But just I really trust God with that. I'm like, God, I want to learn something new. I want to be inspired. I want to,
Well, dude, what I love about that is, where else do you get to go? And you can do, I think, 2 really important things. Yeah. You can look at the workshops and go, I'm going to make sure I go to a couple workshops from people who think like I do, who have the same theology I do, because that will just remind me of some things and probably give me some very natural learnings. Yeah. And you can go, I'm going to go to some workshops from people who are very different than me. Yeah. Their context is different. Their theology is different. Yeah. The size of their ministry is vastly different. And I'm going to learn from them some things that maybe stretch me a little bit, make me a little bit uncomfortable, which, by the way, that's where you really learn, right? Is when you put yourself in those situations. Yeah. You and I can learn from each other, but we're not really learning. We're like, because we think alike. Yeah. But to sit under somebody who thinks completely different, that gives me an opportunity to really let God challenge some assumptions, stretch me in some new ways.
Even like looking at the list of breakouts and saying, you know what, this may not pertain to the vast majority of ministry that I do, but there's some things that I probably could learn from this workshop. Yes. And I go to that workshop and just be stretched and grow. So those are like 2 huge things that I love, that every single year that I've went, I've come back like, okay, I have to sit down with the wife and kind of talk about my experience and say, you know what, this is.
Bring the wife sometime, dude.
Yeah, I should.
I don't know what you do with your 3 kids. How old's Shania?
She's 7.
She can handle it. just put her in charge.
I'll put Jana Laura on for Michaela. I'll put AJ with the Xbox. Yes. And then I'll get Shania a Frozen DVD. They'll be good for the next 4 days.
Anyway, guys, that's 4 things we love about SYMC. I'm sure lots of you that read More Than Dodgeball are going to be there. If you're wondering if it's worth the investment.
It is.
I'll even say this: even if your church doesn't pay for it, I mean, if you have to pay for it yourself, which I know is tough, but it's worth it. It's worth it.
It is.
If you want to register, we've got a link. Go check it out.
See ya.
See you guys.